Iran stepping up attacks on energy infrastructure and transport across the Gulf, taking the air out of any attempt by the International Energy Agency to calm markets with the release of crude reserves. At least 19 commercial ships have been struck since the US and Israel began their offensive on the 28th of February. A British maritime agency says a projectile struck a container ship near the UAE, sparking a blaze, although crew are reportedly unharmed. In Iraq, operations are on hold at all oil terminals after an overnight hit on 2 fuel tankers, leaving 1 person dead. A drone strike as well, targeting the US coalition base in Erbil. Iran firing drones also on oil storage facilities in Oman's Salalah port and inflicting minor damage on a tanker in the Gulf of Oman. A drone crashing into a skyscraper, triggering fire in the UAE's Dubai. Interceptions as well with Saudi Arabia, deflecting an attack on the Sheba oil field. In Bahrain, authorities telling residents to stay home after an attack on fuel tanks at a facility in Muharraq Governorate. A strike 3 days ago on the island's sole oil refinery in Marmara, causing some damage but limited disruption. Olly Barratt, who is covering this story for CNN, joins us live from Erbil in Iraq. Olly, those attacks persisting on all sides, even as the Iranian president has given his conditions for the war to end.
Indeed, and those conditions, which include things like a guarantee of no further aggression, reparations, that kind of thing, would sound completely unacceptable, I'm sure, to the Americans, as indeed do the requests from the Americans for Iranian capitulation to the government in Tehran. So it doesn't look as if we're anywhere near any kind of solution in that regard when it comes to both sides' red lines. And we are seeing, as you were saying, attacks all across the region in all sorts of different directions. Here in Iraq, huge concern about the attack of 2 tankers in Iraqi waters. Of course, the supply of oil is hugely important to the Iraqi economy. So any disruption beyond what was already being seen is causing great fears within Iraq. And so a day in which we're hearing from the Iranian leadership some sense of how they would like to see the conflict come to an end. And again, to reiterate that elsewhere in the region, there is that real fear that the Americans could at some point declare victory, end their military campaign, but leave an ongoing, raging conflict here in the region.
All right, that region hitting US assets across Gulf states. Italy reacting to reports of an attack on its base in Iraqi Kurdistan. We're seeing reports as well of a drone attack on a US coalition base where you are in Erbil. Any details on any of that?
Yeah, that's right. The Italians are saying that they are not sure if they were specifically targeted in that drone strike overnight, because they say there are other coalition forces who are in that compound, in that base, such as the Americans. But if the Italians were to be targeted, that again would represent a country which has tried to stay out of this conflict, being potentially drawn into it. We have seen several other drones in the skies and potential missile interceptions in the skies above us here in Erbil today as well. We're awaiting further details about exactly what happened in those incidents, but it does mean we're now into 12 days or so of consecutive drone strikes being coming the way of Erbil, which houses coalition forces. There's that Italian base as well. Many of those attacks have been coming from Iran-backed militias within Iraq. And what we've also been seeing today are reports of American strikes in southern Iraq on positions that we think are linked to those Iran-backed militia. So an incredibly complex situation, even when you look just at the interior of Iraq at the moment.
Thanks. Olly Barratt reporting for CNN from Erbil in Iraq.